I swear that men don't actually want to be in a relationship with the really attractive girl.
Biggest pain is when you see someone you like at the gym and you guys just don't talk.
Why are guys not approaching girls in Atlanta?
Oh my gosh, thank God you asked this. Men grow a fat pair of balls and start doing something.
These types of women keep trying to pressure men, even though the odds aren't in their favor. They say, men start doing this and do that, while they sit back and do nothing on their end.
I keep hearing women say, men no longer approach women on the street. Girl, you're either unattractive or you have a bad personality.
Men don't know how to approach modern day women because women have never been as masculine and dominating.
Zero shade, but why don't men ask women out anymore? Like the guys that I'm meeting, matching with on Hinge and everything else, they're pen-paling me.
PSA for every man that's crippled by rejection. Don't forget.
If rejection was so hot, then women would be into it. But most women have never actually approached a guy, so they have no idea what rejection is actually all about.
Literally stopped approaching women because they're afraid to get rejected. They're afraid to be called creepy. Fill the blank.
I would be more than pleased to fill in the blank, especially for some women that aren't quite ready to admit it. But a lot of men just don't want to approach women because it's not worth their time, and they're happier being alone by themselves and happily single than they are being entangled with some of the women that are available out there. But some women don't like hearing that.
And when we act out of fear, we create the reality we're most fearful of. So reminder to just shoot your shot, put yourself out there, and know that rejection is literally never personal. It's actually hot to have the courage and confidence to go after what you want.
Well, guys, there you have it. More mixed messages, because there are still a lot of women out there that are telling men to leave them alone. But yet there's some women out there that want men to approach them. Yeah, but sorry, ladies, a lot of the guys simply don't want to.
Absolutely correct. If rejection was hot, then women would be into it. But they're not, which tells you something. It's easy for women to say and suggest stuff like this. Just approach, get rejected, and keep trying, because they've never had to live in that role themselves. From the outside, it sounds simple, almost motivational, but the reality is completely different when you're the one expected to take the risk every single time. When someone has never been the one who has to initiate, they don't fully understand what repeated rejection actually feels like. It's not just one moment of no. It can be dozens of attempts, awkward situations, dismissive reactions, and sometimes even public embarrassment. Over time, that wears people down. Anyone would start questioning whether the effort is worth it. Yet the advice keeps coming from people who have never had to build the tolerance for that level of rejection in the first place.
Zero shade, but why don't men ask women out anymore? Like the guys that I'm meeting, matching with on Hinge and everything else, they're pen-paling me. Like asking me the most absurd questions that I know they don't care the answer to. But like, why don't you just ask me to hang out and then we'll see if we actually have chemistry and go from there? Why are you asking me what I did today and then not planning a date? Please, a straight man in the comments answer. I'm so frustrated. Like, I don't know what to do. Help.
Somebody tell me why guys don't shoot their shot. Like, there's a 99.9% chance that you're gonna get my number if you come up and talk to me. You have no competition, baby. It's wide open. And also, like, I feel like I'm kind of an approachable person, you know? Like, I'm really tall. But other than that, like, so as long as you're, like, tall and, like, somewhat attractive, you have a chance. I don't get it. Because they'll just be, like, standing there, like, giggling and, like, looking at you. But then they will never come up to you. And it's, like, it's a waste of time.
You know how our culture is living in a I don't chase, I attract? Well, I think that this message might be a little bit more for women. Maybe that's sexist of me, I don't know. Men are innately wired to chase. Women? Not so much. We're the gatherers, we're the home providers, naturally. If you're offended by this, then don't listen, period. Men are supposed to chase. They need it. They need the hunt. Women are looking for someone who will court them, but men are like, oh, I'm not chasing her. We're not asking you to chase us. We're asking you to pursue as a man does, because that's what men do. That's what you've done for centuries. We are the prize. You come get us, not the other way around. If you're a a man and you're going by the I don't chase, I attract. Okay, good luck finding a woman, because we need to be courted, pursued, and desired. And if we're waiting on your text all day, we're gonna lose interest, or there will be a man that steps up and takes your spot because you're wishy-washy. Sometimes traditional can be good. Not always. Sometimes gender roles are there for a reason. Not always. That's just my 2 cents.
It's funny, isn't it? How every woman thinks they're the prize, but no man is collecting it or claiming it. Because in reality, when you do claim that prize, you're just adding another expense on top of your own. Now you're not just worrying about your rent, your car, your food, your future. Now you're worrying about hers too. And if something goes wrong, if the relationship fails, if she gets bored, if she isn't happy anymore, you're the one that still ends up paying for it in some way, whether that's time, money, peace of mind, or starting your life over from scratch. And back then, pursuing a woman made sense because you were actually getting and courting a quality woman. But in this day and age, finding a woman like that is extremely rare. And when something becomes rare, people don't chase it blindly. They become careful, they become selective, they start paying attention to what they're really getting.
Sometimes I think that like men don't approach me because I'm like too good looking, and they're worried that they're gonna get like turned down because I'm really like good looking. They don't want to get rejected, so they just like, they say, oh no, she's too good for me, I just can't.
Question for the men. Why is it that nowadays men don't approach women anymore at all? Because I feel like back in the 90s and early 2000s, men were so much more likely to just walk up to a woman that they're attracted to, ask her out on a date, or just, you know, some like friendly banter. But that has completely stopped, I feel like. Why is that, men?
Can 2026 please, for the be the year that guys go up and talk to women in public again? Like, I know there's guys out there that do this, but not enough. There's not enough, because guys who just sit and stare at you from across the room, they just keep making eye contact with you, and you just make eye contact back and forth. Like, please, just go say hello. Just go say hello. It's really not that hard. If she's making eye contact back with you, like if you guys are making eye contact back and forth several times, she wants you to come say hello, okay? If you look at a girl, you find her attractive, and you never see her looking at you again, she probably doesn't want to talk to you, okay? Or she has a boyfriend, whatever. But if she keeps making eye contact with you, that is your sign to go up and say hello. And it is so much more attractive when a guy takes initiative. It shows so much confidence. So what? You shoot your shot and you miss? You're going to miss regardless if you don't go say hello. It's so silly to me. This happens all the time. And twice in the past week, I've had scenarios like this, totally opposites. Last Saturday, me and this guy, he sat across from me at this restaurant we were at, and we made eye contact a few times. I get up, we go to the bathroom, we're about to leave. We're washing our hands outside the bathroom. He comes over, says hello, we talk, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, thank you. Like, thank you for coming to make a move and say hello. This morning, I was at the gym, and this guy, one of my guy friends at the gym, texts us, and he's like, you guys have an admirer? And I was like, what? And he's like, this guy, he's like, will you please talk to them for me? Like, see if like whatever. And he's like, no, these girls are cool. Like, they don't want some punk guy who's not going to come say hello. I'm like, thank you. Like, no, girls don't want a guy who's not going to take initiative. Like, girls want guys who are confident. So even if you aren't confident, you should shoot your shot regardless, because you're going to look so much better and have so much better of a chance if you just shoot your shot.
2026 would be the year that guys go up to women, but these modern women are still the same as last year, and still the same, carrying the same mindset. If women want men to approach, then they're going to have to change, because the reality is that men don't just wake up one day and randomly stop approaching women for no reason. If women truly want men to approach again, then the environment around those interactions has to change. Men need to feel like their effort will at least be received with basic respect, even if the woman isn't interested. Another part of the issue is expectations. Some women say they want men to approach, but at the same time expect a very specific type of man to do it. The most confident, the most attractive, the most successful. Meanwhile, the average guy who might actually be willing to approach feels like he's walking into a situation where he'll just be judged or rejected harshly. Over time, that discourages participation from a lot of men.
Par 4, and I will leave it at par 4 unless y'all want me to continue. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it at part 4. I'm going to say this, that men have a right to their feelings, and this is how they feel, ladies. Let's get it started. Y'all are too naked, too scantily dressed out in public. They don't like the fake hair and the extended lashes. That's been an ongoing conversation. They hate lace front wigs. They hate it. Y'all are not fun to be around. Someone said, why even date when you can get everything for free, expecting everything, offering nothing, too many attitudes? I agree. Always needing approval from your friends, very unapproachable. I can also agree. Say you want good men, but constantly pick the opposite. I agree. Always seeking validation and attention from social media.
This guy's been trying to take me out on a date for the longest time, so I caved and I was like, sure, okay. I'm free 2 weeks from when we were speaking on a Friday. And he's like, okay, cool. And then he messages me the next day and he's like, good morning text, like sends me whatever. And I was like, look, do you mind just like not texting me? Because I don't really like messaging back and forth and I would prefer to meet with you in person and chat then because I'm quite busy during the week. And he's like, oh, sure, no worries. So I was like, message me on Friday with all the details and I'll be there. Thursday comes along. This is the Thursday before the date and I haven't heard a thing from him. I don't know where we're going, what the date is. And I'm talking to my friend and I'm like, this guy has been trying to get me on a date for the longest time and it's Thursday. We're supposed to be going out tomorrow and I haven't heard anything from him. And she's like, really? Nah, scrap that. Don't go. And I was like, well, I did say to him that don't message me until Friday because I don't like to message back and forth. And she's like, well, that's why he hasn't messaged you. It's not Friday yet. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't mean it like that. Like, I want to know before. I want you to message me before to let me know what we're doing. Like, why can't you read my mind?
This woman cannot be serious. This is what not taking accountability looks like. She told this man not to text her until Friday. Couple days go by, she doesn't hear from him, and now she's shocked that he hasn't been texting her. This is what happens when you don't communicate properly. Because what did you expect him to do? You gave him an instruction, he followed the instruction, and now he's in trouble for doing exactly what you said. That's the kind of situation that confuses a lot of men. It feels like you're being tested, but nobody told you there was a test. And a lot of men don't like mind games. They like clarity. If you say, don't text me until Friday, a straightforward man is going to say, okay, I'll text her Friday. He's not going to decode hidden meanings. Most men are literal with communication. They listen to what you say, and they do that. And then when they do exactly what you said and you get mad, now he's thinking, so I get punished for listening. That's how frustration builds. Even her girlfriend had to remind her that she said, don't text me until Friday.
I hear so many men on here commenting on my videos basically saying like, I don't approach women because I'm scared that they'll accuse me of something and, you know, like my life will be ruined, all this kind of stuff. And I understand like that obviously does happen. And it's a valid fear, but I think it's like living for the extreme. And you could say that about anything. You could literally say that about getting a plane, like, oh, I would never fly because, you know, planes crash, or I would never get on a horse because someone's died riding a horse. Like, yeah, like there are obviously risks to everything, but I think as long as you approach a woman respectfully and have like good intentions behind it, whatever, and respect their answer, it's not going to be an extreme situation. And I think that men who say that a lot of times are cowardly, like they're just afraid and they're using that as an excuse. So that's just my opinion, honestly, but
This is exactly what's happening at bars and clubs because men are no longer falling for it. They are no longer just throwing their money out at women that do not take them seriously. They are no longer willing to waste their time, effort, and resources. But because of this, women are out here trying to give men a bad rap. Like they're saying, what's wrong with men these days? They used to go to war. Now they just want to be treated like a woman at a bar. But that is just not the case because men will absolutely put in just as much effort as they always have into pursuing you. But it takes one thing, and that one thing is that he has to know that you are taking him seriously. Because one of the #1 resources to a man is his time, and he doesn't want you to waste it. And even if it's a short-term thing, like he just doesn't want to leave that relationship and have a messed up head and a messed up heart. Because that man just wants a future with somebody that he can really fall in love with and grow old with. Which is why he already knows with like 95% certainty that him paying for your drink at the bar is not going to bring him closer to that.
This caption says, "We're hot and no man is approaching us." What these women need to understand is that social media has done a great job at exposing many of them. Now these are the same women who are at the clubs and are shocked that no man is coming up to them. The reality is, many of them are expecting the approach and a drink. In their minds, the interaction is supposed to start with a man spending money just to earn the right to have a conversation. Over time, men started noticing that pattern. They began realizing that a lot of these interactions were less about genuine interest and more about what they could get out of the situation. Free drinks, attention, validation, or another story to post online. Another thing many of these women don't realize is that being attractive alone isn't the green light it used to be. In the past, men would approach purely based on looks. But now, a lot of guys are paying attention to attitude, energy, and the type of behavior they see online.
Bridget, why can men not just walk by a woman without saying anything? I went on my break, just my 30-minute break. I walked on the street probably just 3 minutes each ways. I'm getting, like, it's not even catcalling, just like comments on my outfit. They're like, "Oh, look at you, cat woman." Okay, it's not even a bad comment, but why do you guys have to say something? I don't even understand. Do I look like I fucking want to talk? I have my earphone in. I'm clearly like holding my phone. I'm enjoying my, like, what is with this face that makes you think I want to talk or that I want to comment from you? I don't fucking want to comment from you. What the fuck? Leave me the fuck alone. Leave all the women fuck alone. I literally do not understand the point of commenting on someone's outfit when they didn't even ask for it, or being like, hey, hottie, I never asked for that. Literally, leave us alone. I don't get it. It's like, you don't need to tell the girl that her outfit is cute. She knows her outfit is cute. She came out with that outfit. She literally chose that outfit before. Knows she looks fucking hot or confident or whatever. You don't need to tell her anything. Just leave them alone. Maybe this is my opinion, but I know majority of women agree with me.
Do any other girls get offended when, like, ugly men try to approach you? I'm saying that with my full chest.
No. What a truly odd thing to be offended by. Just imagine being upset because someone found you attractive and actually had the confidence to approach you. I wonder how they deal with it every day. It must be awful. But if we've ever needed proof, shall we say, that there are lots of individuals out there that are very easily offended by the littlest and, might I say, the silliest of things, I think we've just seen it. Because most individuals do understand that attractiveness is subjective, and a person is never going to know if that they themselves are up to another person's level unless they actually try. Because not every person finds the same things attractive in everyone else. Essentially, a person is going to miss 100% of the shots that they don't actually bother to take. So, there's no harm in trying, is there?
This is why I say women only want a certain type of man to approach them. This woman just said, if an ugly man approaches her, she gets offended. Think about that for a second. Offended. Not uninterested, not, he's not my type, but offended. Like someone committed a crime just by talking to her. Imagine working up the courage to approach someone and they're offended that you even tried. After a few experiences like that, most men are going to say, you know what? I'm good. I'll keep my dignity and stay over here. And then, later the same people will say, why don't men approach anymore? What's also true is that the kinds of men these women keep chasing or yearn for do not want them in reality. And the reason why is because they overvalue themselves and undervalue the men that actually want them. So what happens is they ignore the men on their level, they reject the men who would actually take them seriously, and they all chase the same small group of men at the top.
Why are guys not approaching girls in Atlanta?
Oh my gosh, thank God you asked this. Men grow a fat pair of balls and start doing something. I don't know what it is about Atlanta. I've traveled a lot. Every city I've ever gone to, the men and the women converse with each other. I don't know if they're just scared or they think women are going to be mean or unapproachable. The women in Atlanta are really nice.
One word, insecurity. I've been on first dates where they literally tell me their insecurities, and thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that with me. But first impressions are a thing. This guy was literally like, yeah, I don't really love my teeth. If you hate yourself, there's only so much I can do. Like the first couple of times I might be like, no, it is cute. Like your teeth are nice. But when you say it the fifth time, I'm going to be like, you know what? Your teeth are ugly. I'm going to agree with you. If you hate yourself, why should I love you?
They're scared. They'll just start overthinking things. A lot of men, if they do decide to talk, it's bad timing. You shouldn't talk to a woman. You see she's dancing at the peak height on the way to the bathroom. She's focused on peeing, and you shouldn't do it when she's leaving because she's just ready to go. You got to look for a sign. Like if she's looking at you more than once, she either thinks you're a creep or she likes you.
Because they want princess treatment. They just think that like they're hot shit and that like maybe girls should be approaching them. I don't understand.
I saw a guy looking at me at the gym today and we were smiling at each other, so I smiled back. And then I just said, fuck it. And I went over to him and I was like, hi, my name is Tosh. It's great to meet you. Your sweats look like they're kind of bulging. No, it's not gonna happen, guys. Like, you have to go up and talk to her. Girls aren't gonna come and approach you. If anything, girls don't get approached nearly as much as they should anymore. Like, even worse than before. Like, it already was a problem and now it's even worse. If you approach a girl, the least that will happen is that she'll just feel good that a guy approached her that day. Like, you just did her a compliment. And if you want easy lines to say when you're approaching a girl, check out my page. I have the best ways where you won't come off creepy. Honestly, I have ways that you won't really get rejected. So yeah, I got you, daddy.
Yeah, I disagree. The reality is, it doesn't matter how a man approaches a woman. If she's not into you, she'll be weird about it. There's men out there who have tried every approach in the book, and it still got them nowhere. The reality is, if women want to date, they're going to have to get out of their comfort zone and make a move. This isn't the 1900s anymore. Women have painted this dating scene into a situation where the old rules no longer really apply. For decades, the expectation was that men should take all the initiative, approach first, start the conversation, plan the date, and often pay for everything. But at the same time, the social environment around dating has changed a lot. Men today are more aware of the risks of being rejected harshly and being labeled negatively. At the same time, women have more independence and more freedom in dating than ever before. That also means the responsibility for starting connections can't remain one-sided forever. If someone sees a guy they like, there's nothing stopping them from starting a conversation, giving a compliment, or showing clear interest. In many cases, men actually appreciate that because it removes the guessing game.
Wonder why high-value men are not approaching you? It's not because they don't exist. It's because women scared them all away. All I see on social media is men being canceled and scrutinized just for being men. We have literally embarrassed, belittled, and threatened men just for trying to approach us women. I understand there are some horror stories out there, but women can be just as guilty. All the high-value men are doing the same thing us women do on a daily basis. Like go to the gym, go to work, get coffee, go to the grocery store. The problem is that women have become so cold and out of touch with our feminine energy that men are literally horrified of being that guy or getting canceled and trashed on. Most of them have just completely backed off because we women have been screaming at them not to come talk to us. We have to take accountability for our action and behavior as women and stop making men look like monsters and start embodying our feminine energy to be more warm and inviting for the right man to swoop you off your feet.
The real gag is that all those women that shout from the rooftops that they decenter men and like hate men and whatnot, in their efforts to decenter men, they're quite literally centering them. I don't think I've ever seen a content creator that talks about decentering men where that's not a pillar of content within their platform. Usually a third of their videos have to do with them hating men or decentering them. The real girls who decenter men don't even talk about it. Men are so not a part of their life to the point where they don't even realize that they're not a part of their life. Those are the real women that have decentered men.
I agree. A lot of times many women online and even dating coaches online will be making decentering men content, but all they talk about is men, which is why a lot of time these women are projecting. Some of them are hurt and damaged, and they want to drag other women into their misery. When you really pay attention to the content, the contradiction becomes obvious. The message is supposed to be about focusing on yourself, living your life, and not centering men. But the entire conversation still revolves around men. What men are doing wrong, why men aren't approaching, why men aren't committing, why men aren't providing, why men are intimidated, and so on. A lot of times that type of content is coming from a place of unresolved frustration. Instead of reflecting on their own experiences or choices, it's easier to frame the narrative as if men collectively are the problem. That message also spreads quickly online because negativity and blame tend to get more attention than balanced conversations.
This answer from men honestly shocked me. When I asked why they no longer approach women in public, the top response was, why would I risk face-to-face rejection when I can just swipe online? And the way they said it, like rejection is so horrible, it's not even worth the effort of approaching a woman you find attractive. It makes me wonder, are online dating apps making people afraid of real connection or just way too comfortable with avoiding it?
I'm assuming for that guy.
Good. And let me translate what this video really is about. Let's go out as a group in our sluttiest outfits with the most makeup on possible to try to get the attention of as many men as we can so that we can get the validation and hopefully string along some guys so that we don't have to buy drinks. That's what this is all about. It has nothing to do with wanting to meet a nice guy because in general, women don't go out in groups for that purpose. It's another example of why men are done approaching women in public and really chasing women in general, just like you saw with that singles night in New York. I think it was with like 100 women that showed up and no men showed up, because men have learned that there's really nothing in it for them. They approach a woman, if a relationship starts, it's all about her, what she gets from it, what she expects, what he contributes, while she brings nothing to the relationship. And men are done with it. And even worse than that, when you meet a woman in this type of environment, and if a relationship does start, the chances of her continuing this behavior where she goes out with her friends, seeks male attention, are very high. And so all it's doing is it's just a cycle. And so men have learned this. Ladies, if you are genuinely wanting a real relationship, you are likely going to have to approach the men that you find attractive and see qualities in that you like. And that's just the truth, because men are done with it. And even if a man approached a woman in this or in a singles night and he wasn't attractive or didn't buy them drinks, he would probably get blasted on social media. And men just don't want to take that risk anymore.
I mean, this is the absolute truth. The only reason why these women feel offended is because no man is buying them a drink at the bar. Hence why she put, "We're hot and no men approach us," as the caption. When women are at bars and are dressed provocative like that, they're trying to attract a certain type of man. It's like a bait tactic. The thing is, no man is biting. Thing is, today a lot of guys are familiar with that tactic. They aren't falling for it anymore and are no longer wasting their drinks on women at bars, because information spreads now. Before, a guy might go to a bar thinking, if I buy her a drink, she'll talk to me, maybe we'll hit it off. Now a lot of guys think, if I buy her a drink, I might just be the fifth guy that bought her a drink tonight. So now he feels like he's not talking to a woman. He feels like he's participating in a rotation, and no man wants to feel like he's just another wallet in line.
Okay, Sydney, I'm back with my questions to Sydney single men. I'm wanting to ask today, do men like to be approached by a woman, or do they prefer to be the one to make the initial interaction, the initial approach? Because from my own experience, I'm finding, generally speaking, that men do actually like to sit back and sometimes allow the woman to, you know, make that first contact, approach the guy, in today's society. So what do you think? Yes to women approaching men, or no, let the man, you know, chase his prey, so to speak, you know? Tell me what you think.
This is my proof that I think that the population is going to slowly decline, because I am in a room of like 100 men, and not one of them has approached. I just think men this day and age don't want to date.
Today in the morning, I was at a coffee shop, shocker, and I was sitting next to these guys, and then I woke up. I stood up and I like walked away, and I was on the phone with my mom, and this guy like chased me, like he like ran towards me, and he was like, "Excuse me," and I was like, "Yes, sir," and he was like, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And then I was like, "Yes, I don't, but you know the drill, girl." He's like, I wasn't into him, which also has me thinking about what my horoscope said, that said be open to the unexpected and like don't close yourself off. So then I spiraled and I was like, fudge, was that it? But anyways, aside from that, anytime a guy approaches me out in public and I say that I'm not interested, I always like feel bad, because I don't want them to stop doing that. Like, I don't want them to get discouraged of approaching people, and a part of me wants to be like, I'm not interested, but like, please don't stop approaching girlies, because men approaching women out in the wild isn't that common as it should be and as it used to be. And I really don't want them to lose the spirit, you know? And like, I respect the spirit so much, so I don't want it to die. He not it for me, but like, he could be approaching the next girly and it could be for him. So I don't know how to communicate that. Like, what is the language? Like, no, don't stop doing what you're doing. We need you. Keep going. Don't give up.
Since men don't approach women anymore, I guess I should start going up to men. I live in a city, and literally anytime I'm walking anywhere, anytime I see a cute guy, it's always heads down, headphones in, he won't look at anyone. What am I supposed to do? Chase a guy down the street that does not want to be bothered and ask him if he is single? I feel like I give off the most approachable vibes. I'm always smiling, looking pleasant, not looking at my phone. I don't wear my headphone. Literally never once. I've never been
I just think that at this point, you got to take it up with the ladies, not the men. Because between Drizzle and the whole bear versus man argument, and then all of these recent videos of women saying that men are terrible and they are man haters, I just think that it would be helpful to the men if y'all got your message straightened out. Because you can't have it both ways. You're going to have to deal with somewhat uncomfortable situations where somebody that you're not interested in actually approaches you and they think that you're attractive. And guess what? You can't be super insulted about it and then blame him for doing that. Or you don't deal with that and then you become the one that is approaching the guy. You're the one now that has to deal with the rejection and maybe even being called a creep. Guys are gonna love that.
I agree. The thing is, with the whole bear versus man thing, it just pushed men even further away from wanting to approach women. Because from a man's perspective, he's looking at that and thinking, you're saying you're safer with a wild animal than with me, just because I'm a man. So now he's thinking, if that's how I'm viewed before I even open my mouth, why would I walk over there and risk being seen as a threat, a creep, or a problem? The thing is, these women complain about men not approaching them, but they're the ones pushing the men away. The feminism movement, the Me Too movement, Believe All Women, all of these movements and groups contributed to that, whether people want to admit it or not. Because movements don't just change laws, they change social behavior. And when social behavior changes, people adapt to protect themselves.